Hi, so I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd make a video instead. Maybe it'll help me sleep if I get my thoughts out right now. Anyways, so I usually don't meditate often, but I just messed my hair even worse. I did that again. Oops. I think I did that in another video too, where I messed my hair up even more than it was supposed to be. Anyways, so that looks weird. I look kind of weird like that. I think I did like a weird turtleneck thing with my neck. Anyways, so I don't usually meditate. And in the new year, one of my New Year's resolutions is like I was going to try meditating more. I was just meditating the other night, not the other night, but a few days ago, in the dark, like with a candle lit, and nothing happened. And I was like sitting there meditating for like maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, and I got bored and I couldn't do it anymore because nothing interesting happened. I wasn't getting any like thoughts flowing into my mind. It was just like blah kind of thing. Like I wasn't feeling like any emotions really. It was just kind of like I was just kind of bored. And I don't know like if you're supposed to talk to your like spirit guides or something, or you're supposed to like say a mantra when you meditate, or if there's like certain like actual words you have to say when you meditate, or if you're just supposed to sit there and meditate. And what I did, I was just kind of sitting there and meditating and closing my eyes and just kind of focusing on my breathing, just try not to think about anything specific, and nothing really interesting happened to me. I was just meditating actually tonight, and um, I was sitting there in the dark again, not like in pitch black darkness, but kind of in the dark, and I had my eyes closed. I was focusing on like nothing in particular. Like all the noises were off, the TV was off, the radio was off. Do people listen to the radio anymore? I do sometimes when I'm in my car, but not like the radio, like like at home, which is weird. How does that happen? Anyways, I'm getting off topic. This is about meditation. Okay, so I'm meditating, and then all of a sudden I hear like a snake hissing at me. Mind you, like I'm meditating by myself and there's no one else up there upstairs. I'm by myself. The TV's off, the computer's off. Like all the electricity is like basically practically off, like where I'm meditating upstairs. And like all of a sudden I hear this hissing noise. Like that. But like a snake. Like an actual snake, and I wonder if it was actually like Lucifer or something. Or like maybe like one of those like one of those demonic spirits or something. It's like trying to tell me they don't like me or something. Because I've had dreams like recently too, where like people have come up to me and said, "You know what? I don't like you." And then I remember in one of the dreams, this like chick I didn't really know, she like walked up to me and I was in a room, and I just felt like walking up to her, and then she looked at me and she's like, "You know what? I don't like you." And then I looked at her and I was like, "You know what? I don't care. I don't know you. I'm not here to please you." And I just walked out, and I was like, "Damn." And I woke up. But I was like, that was a really powerful dream. Because in the dream, I literally didn't care that she didn't like me, and I was full of confidence in myself, and just like, you know what, no, like, I'm happy with who I am. If you don't like me, that's like, I know I've got issues, some of them, but you know what? If you don't like me, then I don't like you, and I don't have to like you. And like, we don't have to like everyone, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, I'm just like gonna get away from you, like whatever. Like, not like it's not my big. I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it that you don't like me, kind of thing. Like, I like myself, and that should be good enough for now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I had another dream recently that someone else told me they didn't like me, except it was a guy, and then he's just like, "I don't like you," and I was just like, and I literally just walked away. Like, I didn't even say like anything to him. I just like walked away, and then I was meditating, and then that happened. Really? Come on, how? Like, I wonder if it was actually Lucifer or like one of those like demonic spirits, like communicating with me, telling me that they don't like me again. And then like, oh great, like another one doesn't like me, what's gonna happen now, kind of thing. Like, that's like three of them like in a row that I can think of. Not like their exact names, obviously, because I don't like talk to them like usually, but like three different spirits right now, they don't like me. And they let me know that in no uncertain terms, and like by literally telling me that they don't like me, and then by hissing at me like a snake. Or maybe it was a snake hissing at me, or one of those like not Illuminati people, but one of those you know what I'm saying, one of those Oh, I can't think of the name of them. The David Icke, he like wrote a book about them. Oh, the reptilians. I wonder if it was like a reptilian spirit like hissing at me or something. I don't know. Do you think they're real? Leave a comment down below if you believe in reptilians. I haven't read any of David Icke's books. I accidentally pronounced his name David Icke by mistake once, and I kind of laughed because like it's kind of ironic that he has like that in his name. And like it's just an unfortunate last name. I think I'm not making fun of him, but I kind of am, I guess. But I have never read any of his books. I'm sure he's a swell guy. I don't know him that well personally, or I haven't read any of his books. Have you ever read any of his books? What do you think about them? Leave a comment down below, or if you're not interested at all, leave a comment down below. Just leave a comment, okay? I really don't want to beg. Please don't make me beg. I don't usually get a lot of comments, so any comment is really good for me. Like, even if it's negative, I can learn from it maybe and do something different in the next video, or like I'm not one to like step back from criticism as long as it's constructive. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not perfect. Like, who is, right? You know what I'm saying? Only God is like perfect, really. And anyway, so and then I was just thinking maybe I'll do something different in this video, and I'll just tell you about some of my past life dreams. Well, I think they're past life dreams because okay, have you ever had one of these dreams? Let me just say, it's not like really a nightmare, but like there's just like these random dreams with people, and I'm just going through the motions, and like not nothing too like odd in these dreams. It's like a normal dream, but in these dreams, these particular dreams I've been having sometimes, not all the time, but like sometimes, like they're reoccurring dreams where I'm like a different ethnicity. Have you ever had a dream like that? Like dreams like that? And I'm like usually like in these dreams I'm like Chinese, and I'm in like um I'm like a warrior or something, and like which is weird because in real life I'm like I've never been into karate or kickboxing or anything really. I'm not into martial arts at all in this lifetime. Like I don't really care about that stuff. Like you can care about it, like I'm not dissing it, but for me it's not something I do. It's not one of my hobbies or anything. But like in these dreams I'm like really focused on it even though I don't want to be. Like I have mixed feelings about it. And then like I'm around all these other Chinese people, and I'm being told that I'm supposed to fight, or that like first I don't want to fight, but then my dad, who is Chinese in the dream, not my dad in this lifetime, but this other guy who I assume is my dad, I'm like, no, you can't fight, like I'll fight in your place, because I'm thinking like he's too old to fight and I don't want him to get killed or sick. So I'm like, I'm younger than you, like I should fight. So then they let me fight, and we're training, and then I'm doing really terribly, but I keep saying to myself, I've got to do this like for my father, and I've got to like be strong even though I don't feel like it, and I'm just trying to go through the motions, and I'm training in this like training area. There's like several of us. There's like many of us, and we're all training under this one guy, and he's kind of really strict, and I'm like really nervous around him. And then this other one of the other generals, or part of the lieutenants, he comes over and he's like watching us like train and battle and stuff, and go through the different things, and he's like watching us, and then the other guy's like, you know he's like thinking about like how I'm like really bad at what I'm doing. And then the other guy was trying to talk him into saying like, no, like we need her, like she'll learn, like you just have to like be patient, more patient with her, kind of thing. And it was kind of scary though, because the other guy was kind of more strict than the other guy. The other guy is more kind of low key, and I felt kind of a connection to the other guy. So I wonder if he was like supposed to be like one of my friends or something, or like in a past life or what. But in these dreams, I'm like in China, and then like I'm Chinese in the dream, or I feel like I'm Chinese, which is weird because usually I don't have dreams like that where I'm another ethnicity, and I don't usually like watch things about China, but I like learning up about different cultures. But like I tend to have dreams where I'm Chinese sometimes. Like it's just so random to me. Like, and they come to me randomly, and then I had another dream I was Chinese, and then I had a bad mother who would like hit me and stuff, and just like yell at me kind of in Chinese, but I could understand what she was saying. And I kept telling her like, stop hitting me, like why are you so mean to me? But then I ended up like moving in with someone else, and then I was like, but in the dream, I was kind of being like, with like the B word. Like, I don't want to say it because I'm already demonetized, but I don't want to get in more trouble than I already am in trouble in this lifetime. So, anyways, so I was like, I was like talking in the dream to this girl who was supposed to be like one of my sisters or something. I was talking to her, but like the words were just coming out, kind of like in Mean Girls, where Lindsay Lohan's character is saying like word vomit. That's like what I was like. I was like really saying these awful things to my sister, and I didn't actually mean them, but they were just like coming out of my mouth, and I was just like full of hate or something. And usually I don't have dreams like that where I'm just like mean to someone for no like logical reason. And then my sister in the dream, who's supposed to be my sister, just starts crying, and she's like, "I can't believe you just said that to me." And then I kept thinking like, and then I stopped and I stepped back, and then I was like, it was like I was going through the motions again, like I wasn't in full control over my body or something. It was just really bizarre. Like I was really kind of had a twisted mind or something. Not like a psychopath, but like I was just not in the right state of mind when I was like saying that to her, and I was just kind of getting emotional or something. And then I've had another dream where like these like Chinese people are talking to me, but they're talking to me in English, and I'm talking in English too. And then like this one guy just like suddenly starts talking to me, and we're in a Chinese like one of those like temples, like kind of like a temple in China, one of the houses, that's like, and the house is even built like it's like where we live in China or something. And so I'm in the house randomly walking around, and but I feel like I'm at home or something, and I feel like fine. And then this guy starts talking to me and randomly telling me like, and then he's like, don't tell anyone what I did to you. And he's like kind of threatening me. And then I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, you know what I mean. And I was like, and I remember standing there thinking like, okay, I kind of do and I kind of don't. But I didn't say anything, and I just kind of stared at him because I think he was supposed to be like one of my relatives or something in the house, or like one of my friends. And I just remember feeling like scared of him all of a sudden. And like he was just this like, weird feeling came over me where I was just like, okay, this is like really bizarre. I have this guy threatening me in a dream that I don't even remember. And he didn't look like anyone I know in this lifetime. And then he starts getting beat up in the dream by like some other guys, and I keep like begging them to stop beating him up, even though the guy was kind of like weird to me. Like he kind of like seduced me, but it wasn't like, it was kind of like spur of the moment thing, but it wasn't like a good thing. Like, does that make sense? Like it, like, you know what I mean? So anyways, and I don't know if he was supposed to be like a friend or a family friend or something in the dream or in the past life or whatever. And then this other guy shows up, and I'm just talking to him privately, and I don't even know what I'm saying. Like I'm just like saying something, and I'm like pleading with him about something, like please be like easy on my brother, or please be like easy on me, I'm still learning. And then the guy's just sitting there like nodding, like looking at me blankly, and then he's just like, don't you remember me? Like I always will like have a soft spot for you or something. Or he said something else to me that made me feel good about myself. And then I kneeled down on the ground and showed him like that I wasn't gonna hurt him. I showed him my sword, and then his guards were like gonna like come by me to like make me stop, like to like get the sword away from me. And then he kind of like put his hand up like to tell them to like stop, to like go away and leave us alone so we could talk privately. So apparently the guy trusts me, and he was bald guy, but he was Chinese, and he was just like sitting there randomly in my house, like visiting me, like in the Chinese house. And like but I felt comfortable with him, even though like he didn't tell me his name. And but I felt like good around him, and he wasn't mean to me, and he was just like a good friend of mine or something. He must have been, or something, or like a ruler or something, or maybe like a high up like guy in the government or something. I don't know, but like spirit guide maybe. But he was like talking to me. Well, not really, but like he was just like listening, like sitting there listening. And I've had other dreams with him too. And then I had a dream like I was like going like full blown psycho, like just like I went into some house, and I just start, because I was like trained in the because in this other dream I was like trained in battle, so that was all I knew. After a while, it's like it was hard for me to get back to like normal living. So like I kept like feeling like I wanted to fight other people even though the war was over or the battle was over. And I was just like going crazy in this one house, like knocking things over with the sword and stuff, and like trying to fight people. And then like I would go in one room and I'm just like, and there's a guy like laying on a bed who's like that bald guy in my other dream, and this is like several months later, years later. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing in here? And then he just like kind of looks at me blankly and doesn't say anything. And then this poor guy is in the corner, like trembling, and I'm like the only chick in the house, like with a sword, and like everything's like in chaos basically, and people are like what the hell is going on? And I'm just like with the sword, like feeling comfortable and like strong, because like I felt like strong with the sword or fighting after a while. So I felt like I had to defend myself, and like I just had like the sword with me, and and then I like almost was fighting the other guy, but then he gave me like a look, like a weird look, like, are you serious? Like, you're gonna try fighting me? And then some other guys like barged in the room, and then the guy in the bed like disappeared, and I was like, did you guys see that? And they're like, what are you talking about? So I thought that was kind of odd. Like they didn't know what, like they didn't see the guy, they didn't know what I was talking about. And then recently I had another dream with him, the bald guy. He was he was I felt compelled to walk into this one room in my dream. So I did, and it was like a bedroom, and it was like he was like waiting for me, and he was sitting on the edge of his bed. And then he like kind of looked over at me, and then I just kind of stared at him and said hi to him, and then he's like hi, and he looked kind of sad. So I didn't like feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't bother him then, so I kept walking. Then I ended up like in another like area, and guess what happens again? Like I walk in, and the minute I walk in, I turn into a Chinese lady. Like I'm not thinking about Chinese people in my dreams. Like I literally, but this was just like one of those random dreams, like the Chinese dreams where like I turn into a Chinese person. I literally walked into the room. I turned in. I could feel myself changing on the outside, and like it was like weird. Like in my heart and my soul, I kind of knew like I turned into a Chinese person. And then all of a sudden I looked different, and I was wearing different clothes. But there was like really nice clothes. Like they were like silk clothes, but they were easy to walk in, and they were like really good, like form fitting and my size and everything. So I didn't like embarrass myself or anything in this dream. But I'm walking, and I have a sword again for some reason, and then there's all these older like adults just sitting around, like not talking, but like quietly like watching something, and like gather around like they're waiting for something or someone, and they're all like well behaved and just all proper and everything like Chinese people usually are. And so, and like everyone there was just, there was like a feeling of mutual respect among like everyone in the room, and everyone was well behaved, and I was like amazed and really like pleased. I was really pleased to be in the room with them, and I felt really honored to be in the same room with these guys, with everyone, the guys, the women, like the everyone, you know. So, and then I see the bald guy again, and then he walks out, and you know what he says to me? It was so sweet. He looks over at me. He walks up to me from like his like room. He had like a room inside of the, I was in a room, but he had like a little like, I can't explain it, like a little tent kind of thing, but it was like kind of see-through, but I couldn't see through like one part of it. Anyways, so he walked out of it, and he came up to me, and you know what he said to me? He just reached over, and he started applying like blue eyeshadow on my eyes, on my eyelids, and I didn't struggle or anything, and I just kind of like, because I trusted him, and I guess I considered him a friend, so I'm just kind of standing there like letting him do that to me. And blue, like ironically, is like my favorite color, and I just thought of that later. I thought that was kind of cool. So I feel like really good and stuff, and he's like he's like soft spoken and gently applying like blue eyeshadow on my eyelids, and I'm just standing there letting him do it, and I'm not struggling or anything. I'm just being well behaved and everything. And then when he's done, he looks at me, and then he's like, "Little bird, look how beautiful you look." Isn't that nice? Little bird, look how beautiful you look. And I just like smiled at him and didn't know what to say. And then he waved his hand away from me, and then he like walked back into his room to be alone or something. He liked to be alone sometimes, I guess, with his own thoughts. So then I end up like I feel compelled to walk to another part of this room around like a bunch of the other adults who are like sitting in a kind of a circle, and they're waiting for something to happen or something. I walk in, and then for some reason I just start like fighting this one guy. Like I just feel like, okay, this is what I should do. So then I like randomly just start like sword fighting this other guy who I don't really know. And he's like on a different team or something, like almost like it's like a competition, or like I'm being tested or we're being tested by these adults or something. But we're practicing like in martial arts or something, or like just fighting. And like everything's going fine, and like we're fighting, and like I'm like, and then I had like an out of body experience where like my soul, this is gonna sound crazy, I know, but like my soul or something, like it was like it became thin, more thin, and I was like out of my body, but I could like see myself actually like fighting, and I was like fighting, like going through the motions, like I was fighting, but I was like really good. Like this wasn't just like a random person thinking they could fight who sucked. This was like I was like doing really good actually, and like I like in this lifetime I'm not a fighter kind of person. Like I'm not that aggressive. I'm not a fighter. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But in this dream I was like doing really good fighting, sword fighting, and like you should have seen me. Like I was doing really good. I was whooping his ass. I was whooping his ass. And then I ended up cutting him on his arm, and I felt kind of bad. But and then he kind of like said like, "Oh, my arm" or something, and then he had like a cut on his arm, and I felt kind of guilty about it. And then after that, he like walked off, and then I was like, I felt kind of bad, but I didn't say anything. I didn't say I'm sorry, which is odd because that's very unlike me. Because like I apologize for things that aren't my fault in this lifetime. I don't know. Maybe is it guilt from like a last lifetime? Ooh, I just thought of that. I wonder if that's the case. Anyways, so I walked over. Then when the battle was done, like everyone was just kind of like sitting there watching us, and no one like scolded me or anything. They were just kind of like as a part of the thing or whatever. And then I start walking past this other Chinese guy, and then he like looks at me and like as I'm passing him, and he just starts glaring at me. And I wasn't being rude to him. I wasn't like insulting him. I didn't say anything bad to him. I literally was just walking. Like I just felt like walking out of the building, and like he just like completely glared at me. He just wouldn't stop glaring at me. And I was just like, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to start like a scene, obviously, in front of all the other adults, and I didn't want to be rude and like disrespectful to anyone in the room because they're all behaving themselves, you know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to behave myself too. So I didn't like ask him like, "Hey, what's your problem, buddy?" or anything, even though I kind of wanted to, but I just kind of kept walking and ignored him because what else am I supposed to do? So I'm wondering if he was like from a past life too, and he just hates my guts or something, or if like he was just like mad that I didn't remember him either, because he kind of looked familiar. And then I had another dream where I was Chinese, and I was just eating food with, and then in the dream I had siblings too who are Chinese, and we're just sitting like after like a battle or something, or after a war, and then we're just like eating food, but I remember looking at the food and feeling kind of sick, or like feeling like something was wrong with the food. And I'm not making fun of Chinese food. Like I love Chinese food in this lifetime. Like I think it's delicious. Like I love orange chicken. I like chicken fried rice. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Anyways, but in this dream, like we're eating like another type of food, but it's supposed to be Chinese food or something. But it doesn't look right. Like it's cooked all the way or something, or like someone messed up the food order, or like someone messed up something. And I remember looking at it thinking like, oh, something's wrong with this. But I didn't say anything out loud because like I didn't want to like start like make a scene or anything. We weren't at a restaurant. That's the weird part. We weren't at a restaurant. This was like we're like in our own separate little like area, like in a building. But like we felt like safe around each other though. But like I didn't fully trust the two people, like my own siblings, which is kind of sad. Like I didn't trust my own siblings. But one of them was kind of a jerk to me, though, I think. Like, in another dream, he was just, like, really awful to me. Like when we were younger, I feel like things were different, but then he got older and then he just started like treating me really badly and was just kind of like very stern and serious with me. And like I just miss like being a kid when I was even as a Chinese person in my dreams. I miss like being a kid. Like I do now. I miss being a kid. Um so I guess that hasn't changed much, but it's just like really wacky, these like weird dreams, but they like make sense to me though, like while I'm dreaming them. And feel I do feel like I was actually being visited by some people that used to know me, because the bald guy keeps reappearing in my dreams being nice to me. And I'm like almost gonna cry now because like he doesn't even have to. And I feel bad because I don't remember him. And I wish I did, but I don't. And like even with saying this meditating, I was like calling out to him and saying like, I feel bad I don't remember who you are. Like I don't mean no disrespect. I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't remember who you are. And like I really want to. Can you help me like remember some more of my dreams like of you? And then I did. Like the next day, like I started having more flashbacks of these dreams I had with him before. I haven't had a lot of dreams like involving him, but I have had some dreams. And there's some of the dreams I said to you right now that I remember that came back, that came to me today while I'm like making this video. And like in another dream, like we were in like, he was like, I was in like a private bedroom of his, and he would like really was like into me, but I just viewed him as a friend. And he was like kind of trying to seduce me, but like he wasn't like, you know what I mean, he wasn't being forceful, he was being respectful, you know. But then he stopped and he looked at me and he's like, don't you remember me? And then I looked at him and I was like, am I supposed to remember you? And then he sighed and he's like, yeah, yeah, you are. Like he kind of said that, but like he was like, yeah, like we've met before. And I was like, oh, we have? And then he's like, yeah, you really don't remember like that we've met before? And this was before like I've had other dreams like of him. And then I looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, but I really don't remember you. I really want to, but I don't. And then he's like, oh, he was gonna tell me something, but then he told me, you know, I can't like tell you this if you don't remember me, because he was gonna like say something to me or do something to me, but he's like, I can't, if you don't remember me, I can't do this to you, he said. So that was nice, but it was kind of weird. But like, so I really feel like I met the guy before, but I just like don't remember who he is. And has anyone else have had an experience like this in their dreams? Where like you've had the same people showing up and then they try to like get you to remember them, but you keep saying like, I don't remember you and I'm sorry. And I just feel kind of guilty about it because like I want to remember them, but I don't. Like, and I don't know what I should do about it. I don't know, this was kind of a random video. I just want to make this thinking like maybe if I say it out loud it would make sense to other people. Maybe I'm not alone in this, maybe I am. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you have a nice day.